Hello everybody and welcome back to another Piggy Theory video. Today we are covering what these secret notes tell us in the Piggy Book 2 Chapter 1 flashback. Mainly 1, why the hotel was shut down, and it is actually a pretty dark reason. And number 2, I'm almost certain that I figured out what this disease is. So be sure to like and subscribe and let's just get right into it. Okay, so first we're gonna look at the hotel, because if you have a look at the note at the entrance to this hotel, it says hotel temporarily closed as per requested by the LPD. And the L in this case is Lucella, so it's the Lucella Police Department. Okay then, Devound, but then why is it closed? Because this didn't have anything to do with us tracking Wolfie down. Number 1, there's already police tape there telling you not to cross. The police have already been there and taped it up. If they were doing that to stop Wolfie, that would literally just tell Wolfie that they're about to be coming for her. She just look at the hotel and it's like shut down and she's like, oh dang, I gotta get out of here. Oh, the cops are on to me. And also then why wouldn't they have shut down any other shop? It's only the hotel that was shut down. So if this hotel was shut down independent to our investigation on Wendy Wolf, why would Minitoon make a big deal about it? Why would he go to the effort of creating police tape assets to use when instead he could just use a door or, you know, the electric beams? No, something bad happened in this hotel and Minitoon wants us to figure out what it is. Let's have a look at the other notes. Dear Willow, please take care of William while I am gone. I'll be back soon. Daisy. But notice something strange about this note. It's actually really old, like really old. We haven't really seen any other notes like it. Like if you think back to Chapter 9 City, even in Grandma's Poutine where she writes a note saying, oh, I hope George Pig's right. That note was probably there for like a week or so and that note looked totally fine. But this time, it is like old and decrepit and it's not just a change in the note style of Minitoon because all the other notes are fine. No, I think this note was given to Willow by Daisy, but she never did return. Or at least she hasn't returned for months. And you know, this is further emphasized by the static TVs in Daisy's, what is it? Daisy's television shop? Daisy's DVDs? I've forgotten. But the TVs aren't playing anything. They're just playing like blank screens with like green and red. Daisy isn't there to change it to the cooking channel. So to me, it seems like something's happened to Daisy and Willow Wolf has been stuck with William, who is most likely the author of this note. Can Kay come out and play today? Or at least that's what I assume it says. Kay here is most likely Kitty, seeing how Kitty is the only Piggy character we know that starts with K. So now there's 2 fairly sad possibilities. Possibility number 1 is Kitty comes out and plays. They go play tag or something. They go running around. They eventually run into the hotel. So what could have happened is they've been running around. They see scissors in the hotel lobby. They pick them up, maybe do some sword fighting or something. And then they keep running, but one of them trips. And they quite seriously injure themselves. So much so that the police need to shut down the hotel and open a full inquiry into what happened there. It was a serious injury. And I think it has something to do with the eye as well, because if we have a look at Kitty's avatar, Kitty is one of only about 3 or 4 avatars that has 2 different colored eyes. One normal white eye and one blood red eye. Could it be it became bloody because the old scissors went whoopsie doodle? That's why you don't run in the halls, by the way. Or could it be her anger at the accident? Because remember, the eye color is often based on personalities, so she could be angry about the incident. Okay, but another slightly happier theory is that the note takes place after this incident. So they still run through the hotel with scissors. Kitty still gets hurt, most likely in the eye. The investigation's opened up. However, it is not life-threatening. And so this could be days later. William puts the note under the door asking if Kitty can finally come out and play again. Whichever it is, I don't think this will have much impact on the story anyway, since this first chapter was really just like a filler for Minitoon. It was to reintroduce us to Piggy, and I doubt we'll be having any more flashbacks until potentially Piggy 3? Is that asking for too much? But do you know what is interesting? This has been a question that we've been asking ever since chapter 6, when we saw Mr. P's notes about Mrs. P, about his wife, and how she was sick. But what was she sick with? Well, Minitoon doesn't make it freaking easy, but he at least gives us a hint saying breaking. Billionaire fund search for cure. Mr. P, a successful billionaire based in the city of Lucella, has donated over 40% of his bank funds to research facilities over the nation to aid in search of a cure to the linnaeoma disease. What's linnaeoma? Ah, you fell for the trick, fool! Linnaeoma, my George pigs. At first, I thought it was a really sad attempt at a ligma joke. I was like, what's linnaeoma mini tune? What sick joke are you getting at here, fool? And why did Mr. P only spend 40% of his fortune? Why wouldn't he spend 100%? He wasn't simping enough. Maybe if he paid that extra 10%, Mr. P, you would have gotten a working cure. But I did some digging, everybody, and I think I've cracked the code. I am almost certain I know what this linnaeoma disease is. So, the first thing I looked up was linnaeoma disease on Google, and you know, the only thing I got was
La enfermedad de la Señora P se llama.
So, as you can tell, that was quite useless. I actually then stumbled upon a really interesting figure. His name is Carl Linnaeus, and he was a Swedish botanist, zoologist, and physician. He was basically known as the guy that named a whole bunch of organisms. But what's really interesting is that this Carl Linnaeus guy, he conducted research on smut disease and living contagion. And if you don't know what a living contagion is, a contagion is the communication of disease from one person to another through close contact. Now, where does that happen in the piggy world, huh? That seems almost too coincidental to be true. A disease called linnaeoma, and then we got a guy from the real world called Carl Linnaeus who studied diseases and contagions. But wait, the evidence stacks up, everybody. I'm not just rambling out crazy stuff here. There is more evidence to support this, because remember, he also studied something called smut disease. Smut is a plant disease of fungal spores which infect the plant's reproduction system and take over to recreate more spores so they can infect other plants. And, well, guess what Mrs. P is? She just happens to be the only vegetable we know, of course, besides Mr. P, in the piggy universe. It connects too well to be a coincidence. So to bring it all back, we've got Carl Linnaeus. He studied contagions and smut disease, which is a disease which infects plants, which are vegetables. And she is affected by linnaeomas, which sounds like the guy who studied this, Linnaeus. And so I think it is safe to say linnaeomas in the piggy universe is actually smut. I mean, yeah, it sounds a lot dumber when you call it by its actual name, but then how did it make the jump from Mrs. P to all the animals in Piggy? Well, remember, Mr. P, he was only spending 40% of his funds on the cure. I mean, that doesn't really have anything to do with it, but what most likely happened is he made those spores because remember, the smut specifically infects the reproductive organs, and Mr. P, in his rush to make a cure, most likely mutated it, transformed it a bit to start infecting the entire body, to start causing it to want to reproduce, and not in the naughty way, by smacking things, which is also a naughty way, just in a slightly different illegal sense. And that's how we get to where we are, everybody. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm interested in what you think about this. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye!